Welcome everybody to the Smite Wholesome Smite tournament, the first game of the day and the tournament. I'm Congruent Bob, and joining me is my sister Bethlol. Say hi.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for joining us today. We are so excited for the first match of the Wholesome Smite tournament. There are 4 teams competing, and this is game 1, best of 3 between Team GrogChamp and Team F7. We are so excited. They played a friendly that we've shown before, and it was just some incredible gameplay. I can't believe the level of these players, so we're really excited.
Absolutely, yeah. It was so fun. It was. I can't believe how much of a banger it was, and I really wish it was. Well, I mean, I'm not regretting that the game didn't happen, but I'm so regretting it wasn't part of the tournament. But maybe we'll just get another banger,
I think
or
we
maybe
will.
3
I
off.
think we will.
Yeah. Although, actually, I kind of don't hope that because some people don't have the time for that today. But hopefully we'll just get some really great games in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Short and sweet, but really good. Anyway, let's
Well, the
introduce.
last game was 60 minutes, wasn't it? It went on for
Yeah.
literally just over an hour. So
60 minutes, 30
anyway,
seconds.
yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into showcasing the teams. We've got basically pretty much almost the same lineups across the teams, but we've had a few substitutions. Team GrogChamp are probably the closest to what they were. They have Thackerty and Hearing Wolf in their original roles. Perky Crab is going into support to replace Kiwi Bunny, who goes into carry. And Wizzy is subbing for Kuthal because they're not available, unfortunately, for this first game. But Kuthal will probably be featuring in the remaining tournament games. And
I certainly hope so. We want to see those sick Janus plays that we saw before.
yeah, for sure. I was thinking, actually, like, after hearing that, I mean, Team F7 are probably going to be very pleased with that news. But on their side, they've got a bit more of a change around. I think Monkey Boy and Aurora Briar Rose are staying with their roles, which they did really well in. They've lost Leclip, and now Gorilla Cams is rotating to replace him in support. And Stickman and Shams Champagne are 2 newbies to the team. So hopefully they can get acquainted very quickly.
Absolutely. I'm really excited as well because we just saw some absolutely fantastic play, almost from someone who knows what they're doing as a support with Gorilla Cams and Noir in the last game. She was certainly very aware of where her teammates were and helped them out. So I'm really excited to see this transition. And yeah, I'm just really excited because both of these teams, I really cannot stress how good they are. So I'm so ready to see sort of a rematch, but also a fresh start to the league. They know they've played against each other now. They know what it's like. They know how hard it's going to be and what a challenge it's going to be. So I think it's going to be enjoyable and eventful for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be weird because I don't know. I actually watched Monkey Boy's stream because he streamed the game as well and watched it on
Yes,
on
yeah.
a replay, and hearing the team dynamic was really interesting because him and Leclip were recording most of the shots. They both of them had a really good understanding of the game. So with Leclip gone, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of do team calls and objectives. Obviously we didn't hear any kind of comms from Team GrogChamp, but I don't imagine that they'll change too much because they seem like a tight-knit group anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
But speaking of Team GrogChamp, let's have a look at their team in more detail and see which gods we're probably expecting to see from them today. Of course, Thackerty and Hearing Wolf being in the same roles as before, probably going to see maybe the same gods. Or actually, no, this is not true. Actually, Thackerty didn't play in solo last game. That was Shut the Chuck Up. Thackerty played as carry, I believe, but now Thackerty's rotated in solo. So my mistake there. I think it was just because the original prep I had was wrong for the first game, and I hadn't. I
made
didn't.
a small
Yeah,
mistake,
and I didn't change Thackerty from being solo in the original place. But Hearing Wolf, I mean, got to pick their first pick Suku. But otherwise, I think it's going to be we might see a completely different team for this first game.
Absolutely. I think they did really well in the last game, and I think it'll be really interesting to see them play another jungler. Thanatos is doing really well right now. I just don't know. They might pop up, and we'll just see. I'd like to see some more global ults. You know, we saw the Janus, we saw the Tsukuyomi that can go through walls. I'd like to see the Thanatos. I'd like to see the Athena, see that real kind of map traveling, and that Neath ult as well was really, really handy last time. So let's see if they pick some global ultimates for us to try and navigate the map with.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I wonder if they'll stick with the double hunter gameplay, like, you know, having a hunter in solo lane, because I don't know. It depends on the play style. Maybe it can work for some teams. But considering, I don't think they won either game of the two that they played. The other one being played off stream. I think that one was a much faster game, and that was a much more in Team F7's favour. But let's talk about Team F7 a bit more. We believe that this is the most played gods of the new roles of each of these players. Gorilla Cams, at least, I think you did a bit more research than me, or I was able to, for about which god she was playing in support.
She said that she likes Ganesha and Kepri, so very kind of CC god, you know, with the silence and also the grab and the stun and the knock up. So I think that whatever she plays, she will play a god that's, you know, get right in there to either grab somebody or knock them up or disable them, or no, silence them, even disable. I can make disabled jokes because I'm disabled. But I think that she'll definitely play a pivotal role. So she said that Ganesha and Kepri are probably her top played supports.
Awesome, yeah. I'd love to see Ganesha out there. I think you can be really creative with his ult. And, you know, not only just the damage output from with the boundaries, but also the pillars and body blocking. So that would be quite cool. And I'm really glad I get to see Monkey play again, because he can really shine with his jungle picks. I mean, Mercury was an amazing performer in the first game, the first friendly against, who was it, a reasonably good team. He absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
And then even with Bakasura, like he did so much map control with Bakasura in the friendly that we saw. So and it seems like he has a massive god pool as well. So which I just, you know, doesn't really matter which he picks. I think I'd just be really pleased to see what he's got in store for us.
Absolutely. And I'm so sorry, I'm not just on my phone right now. I'm just communicating with the team captains while we do our chat. So do please continue, Jolie.
No problem. I've just put it back to the chatting screen, and well, I'll queue to spectate Gorilla Cams, and then when we get into it, we'll just go straight to it. But yeah, it's basically just a waiting game now, and so let's talk more about the other gods, or the other players that are new for Team F7. I'm not really sure about. We have no idea what Sam Champagne and Stickman can do, but at least it looks like Sam Champagne has pretty good warriors in terms of like what he usually plays for solo. I love seeing Achilles play as well. He's one of my favourite gods to play personally. Especially his ultimate is so fun, and it can really, you know, you have massive pop-up potential with the executes. And Guan Yu is insanely strong as well. I think, like, if I were playing in this tournament, I'd try and first pick Guan Yu every game, because he can really be one of the, because at least, you know, solo lane is one of the hardest roles to really carry with, and at least in ranked. But Guan Yu, I think, is an exception because he can really swing team fights with his healing and.
He's so strong right now. I completely agree with you. I went up against a Guan Yu the other day. He was using the Guan Unicorn skin, so I didn't take him seriously at first. I thought, okay, cool, and then he just completely obliterated me. So definitely quite strong. So I think that's a good pick. We did see Nike played really, really well last time, but that was by Lashakwana, who isn't playing this time. So it'd be interesting to see what the solo picks are.
This is true. Neither Thackeray nor Sam Champagne appear to play Nike very often among their god pools. Both seem to like to pick Hercules though, so I wonder if that might be a more priority pick, not only for being able to play it themselves, but also to basically be a pseudo ban for their team, taking it away from the other team, just because of that. But who knows if they've even done the research for this kind of thing. Maybe they'll just do like the meta bans like Set, Scylla, Persephone. Forgetting god names now. This is great. Yeah. But,
I'm just having a little chat with with the team. They're just waiting to hear back from one of their team members. And we're just waiting on Stickman, who is in mid, to just make sure that they are available. We're just having a couple of difficulties there. So I think what we can do for now is if we just go on pause, then we can see if we can get somebody in case he's not there. But we do have somebody available to play. But just while we're getting all the details signed up, I think we'll just go on pause really quickly.
Yep.
It won't be 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll get into the game.
Sounds good. We'll be right back, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. What a few behind the scenes hiccups going on. Unfortunately, of all the talk we chose to give to Sam Champagne, he has not showed up. Thanks so much, Sam. We've got a substitution for him in the name of Lucifer 12. Is that right?
saved the day. We hope that Sam is okay, but he's just stopped responding. So hopefully everything's okay there. But it does mean that he probably won't be able to continue with the tournament, which is such a shame because we were super hyped to see. But Lucifer 12, aka Tony, has come in to save the day as mid. So let's start spectating and seeing what happens next.
Yeah. I have queued to spectate Gorilla's cams, and hopefully it will just jump us in straight as soon as it's done. But if you are aware that they've started the game and it's been like way too long, then we can re-queue, and hopefully that should be sufficient.
I'll just keep them ready. They're about to get into the lobby, so.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't be the Smite Wholesome group if it weren't going to be like a few hiccups somewhere or technical difficulties. Like, there just doesn't seem to be a thing that we can get away from in these streams, but that's totally fine.
Never mind, it happens.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good.
So yeah, they are ready. They're just getting into the custom game, and then we'll be ready to see these picks and bans. They've added a bit of bonus time now, which should be much better. So let me just sort out my screen so I can see everything that's going on. And I'm so sorry if I'm yawning. I've had a crazy weekend. There's a yawn. I've had to do our whole bathroom this weekend, as in like find everything for it. So I've had to buy like sinks and baths and stuff, but also things like bath panels and waste and like plug basins and blah 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 blah.
Oh, we got it. Sorry, I hate to cut off the exciting commentary about your bathroom, but we've managed to get into the game.
I was just about to start talking about my toilet.
Oh man, you'll have to tell me all about it after the stream. Okay, so interesting to see the first bans. I guess they don't know who to ban against Lucifer, but Lucafer. Oh, I thought it was Lucifer. Lucafer.
Me too. Lucifer.
Yeah.
We'll call him Lucifer.
Lucifer. Lucifer. That's fine. That'll
Lucifer.
do. Yeah, New ban.
There's the New ban.
Oh, maybe do they know that Gorilla's Cams is going to play support? Or maybe they're just like meta.
Maybe they're just like New was so strong last game.
Yeah.
We don't want to deal with it.
Oh,
so,
the Ganesha ban. Maybe they're listening
ban.
in. Maybe they're listening in.
And the Janice ban too. Interesting. The Sook ban. Oh, it's going both sides.
Yeah, Hearing Wolf has played.
Yeah, they don't want to play against those gods again, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows if Rizzy can play Janice? Well, I mean, we didn't see him
not too sure.
In the God Pool.
The full roster hasn't been shared to each team about which new people are in each team and stuff. Yeah. So, for the first match, it should be fairly fair, and then they can watch each other's matches and stuff and get to know each other.
Yeah, and they build up a meta, a little mini meta among the games of the best of three. Like, if one player really pops off with one god, I mean, we're almost certainly going to see that god banned in the next game, I imagine.
Absolutely. I really appreciate the Danzaburo ban. He is so OP right now, and Bologna is the first god locked in, which I think is absolutely brilliant because she is such a lane bully, especially with the Kuka lane ban. Not too many counters to Bologna right now in the solo lane, so I think that's going to be really, really interesting to watch. How exciting. I wonder who Gorilla Cams is going to pick for support. Medusa again for Raw Bromos did very, very well. Great support, Sylvanas, with the MP5, really, really helpful for Medusa, and the healing as well. I think that would be a good shout if they did lock both of those in.
Yeah, I mean,
Medusa, fantastic.
We've seen Aurora Brio's play Medusa every game now. That's one of those constant gods that we see her pick up. I think it seems like Medusa is definitely her most comfortable god, and it's interesting as well.
She performs really well with Medusa as well.
Another thing I've noticed is that each player is picking, the god for the role that they already have. They're not actually locking in gods for their teammates and swapping, because we've literally learned that from the friendly that they can swap gods in the game mode that we've picked. So that they're not utilizing that feature. I'm not sure if they really want to, or they feel the need to. Maybe they're just like, I want to play this character. Or maybe they are thinking, it just happens to be
the bans
right
that they've
order.
picked so far is for mid, for solo, and for jungle, and for support and carry on the other team. So respectively, what they've done is they've now locked in, each of those roles on each team. I think just because they go, okay, that's fine, I'm going to play this. The only concern that I have at the moment is mids, and you can see that Discordia ban come in. She's very, very strong right now. Thoth is an extremely strong mid right now. We haven't seen that cancelled, but I think that it does work well in Team F7's favour to ban against an ADC they don't want to face because they haven't picked them yet. So quite interesting to see there. But I'm loving the Bastet pick to be able to get in and out of those team fights and inflict some real proper damage. The pet damage is helpful as well. Yeah, there's the Persephone ban as well because, as I said, mid hasn't been picked yet, so that could be the change for both of these teams. Great pick for Neath as well. I really like Neath at the moment, especially with Amir. Lots of sticking damage.
Yeah, that's a Smite beta duo lane with Ymir and Neath being from the very original start. And Scylla, I like it. That's really good because at least with Neath and Ymir, they can run down duo lane and get an advantage in that lane, but then they have almost pretty much a hyper carry in mid lane to kind of get them into the into that stage. And Bellona, is another god that kind of falls off. So they have these alleyways to get them into the late game, and Scylla can really pop off then. We see Sol looked in for Lucifer. What do you think about that?
I think that's an excellent pick. I think it's nice because she does have that burst damage in her abilities, but she also is an AA god. She's very, very mobile. She does do a lot of damage. I think that her and Scylla both work very, very differently. So in terms of a route, it might be hard for Scylla to get Sol, but it also might be hard for Sol to get Scylla because she does have her dash. And she does have that insane 2 damage as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I do like the Scylla pick for that team. I think that ult has really nice synergy with the rest of their abilities, particularly with the freeze from Ymir, the silence from Bellona, and the stun from Neath. I think that works really well. I also really like the picks for Team F7 with Sylvanas giving the mana plants. That's going to be really helpful, especially for those protections for his squishy, Susanna, Medusa, Soul. Very, very squishy. So those mana plants are going to be really, really helpful. So is the healing. Not much healing on GrogChamp's team. Bellona does have a tiny heal built in, I believe. Bastet will probably have the lifesteal. Neath has the lifesteal. Amir has HP 5. Scylla, unless she builds lifesteal, I don't think she has much of it. So they don't necessarily need a healer. It just depends if they've got any good aura items built onto their team to see if they kind of get the equal protections. But at the moment, I think I'm kind of swaying more towards Team F7's comp as maybe slightly more aligned with each other than GrogChamp, although, there's quite a lot of benefits there together. And they do have real synergy. I just feel like the synergy is slightly stronger in Team F7. However, it all depends how they're played. So I could be completely wrong. They could all be rubbish.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to speculate on the likelihood of things in a perfectly played game. I mean, Bellona tier, both these gods are pretty good early game. I actually think tier, if they go Bluestone tier, usually wins early game. But then Bellona may have a bit of a spike, slightly more in the mid game, and when she kind of gets her attack speed items online. But I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm not very familiar with the matchup. I don't really play. I play tier a little bit, but Bellona I've literally never touched. I don't know why. So who knows how that will go.
Tier's passive's quite good in terms of not being able to be kind of stuck by crowd control for more than 1 second, and if he has CCR, it's even less. So I mean, all of those stuns from Bellona, Ymir, Neath, it's not really going to do much on tier. So that actually works really well in their favour. Bellona's passive about building protections with auto attacks might be helpful against tier, but I feel like he just is like such a spammy god because of his stance change that it might not work very well. However, Bellona in Death Toll right now is just ridiculous, so we'll just have to see. It might be just the fact that because Bellona has so much, I guess, early game potential. She's just such a lane bully. She really is. And AA solos right now are owning it. It's really, really hard to.
Yeah, I think Tier in
to
the right
tell
hands can
from
really
from the
do.
God matchup.
Tier in the right hands can really do some work, but yeah, well, it's all player dependent. I see a lot of love in the chat for Wizzy actually. A lot of it seems we've got the fans for Team GrogChamp, and they're saying Wizzy's going to carry for sure. So I'm well excited to see that. Hopefully that's the case.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just making a couple of notes on my pad. If you do see me writing, I'm not like, I don't have a prisoner next to me. It's my notepad, so I can commentate.
Yeah, sure.
Better.
No worries. Yeah, seems good. I'm just trying to get the overlay seeming good. Hope guys, if you want to see any particular stat or anything changed about the way that I'm presenting the game, then do please let me know. I'm still not a complete expert in the spectator mode, but I'll do my best and try to show you guys all the stats we need to see. Player damage I feel like is one of the main things people like seeing, and obviously the build path is going to be a good one as well. I'll try and do that, and then we can also see gold difference and XP difference over time as well. I think that's usually quite handy. But I think players are just still loading the game right now, which is why we haven't seen anything being built.
Game starts in 57 seconds, so I'm just writing down all of the different gods into their role so that I can easily kind of go, okay, this team is this one and that, because I think last time we were talking about 2 different teams' builds and you were like, oh, this team's got this magical defense, and I was like, well, they've actually got this, and you were like, that's the wrong team. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm so sorry for my constant yawning. I have chronic fatigue, so I'm not bored. I'm actually so excited, but I'm also yawning. It's making my eyes water. It just looks like I'm crying. I'm not crying yet. We'll see how amazing the team fights are.
Smite is just so beautiful.
I love Smite. Go on, Amir.
Let's do it.
I love that
Master
skin.
Thief.
Has he still got the suit on?
I guess I can't see. Let's see.
I can't see. The resolution on my screen is much poorer because. Oh no, I think he's gone with just a normal skin just to save any hassle with any of the banned skins.
I do hope.
But it's cute. It was cute in the lobby.
Yeah, I do hope Perky Crab knew that she was, in the forefront of the camera there in the stream. Anyway.
Yeah, she's just jumping like whoop whoop.
Yeah. So,
Nee's dancing right now. She's doing a little dance for us all. Thank you, Kiwi Bunny, for that.
So, okay. Just now we've seen the items, I want to start talking serious again. And for me, I'm thinking, what on earth is going on with the double mannequin scepter for Team GrogChamp? But not only that, on Team F7, excuse me. They've got mannequin scepter on Sylvanas. It's a bit interesting. What do you think about that?
If he's going to be an aggressive support, I think that's a really good idea. He does do a lot of AA damage. It's especially helpful in the clear, and also once he stacks somebody, he can do that extra burn damage. It's not really about who gets the kills at this stage. It's about winning the lane, because then you can leave your carry and rotate, and they can get the extra farm. So I quite like the mannequin scepter choice. I know that you build Sylvanas differently to how you build other supports, and I think that he's such a utility support that things like Shield of Regrowth, things like mannequin scepter, things like Toxic Blade work in a different way to when they would on other supports. So I'm not mad at it, and I like the fact that he's got Shell. He's not got like, Sundering Spear or something.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing with
yeah,
Shell,
it's definitely winning lane for sure. It's just interesting to it would be interesting to see what kind of build path it unlocks later in the game, because you're stopping yourself from going Sentinel's Embrace later on, and I don't know, from what I've seen, at least Sentinel's Embrace seems to be like such a powerful support item. I don't know if that will really hinder them that much late game, especially when they've got to deal with a Scylla as well late game too. Like
I think you need to see how the other team are building as well, because he might just need like a shed load of physical protection if the other team's melee characters, physical characters, do all the damage. He might need to buy something like Pythagorean's Piece if his whole team are building life still. He might want to complement that. It does leave the options open, but he could also buy Mannequin's Hidden Blade if he wanted to, and just be like an aggressive support, really tanky but powerful auto attacks. Just have to see. I know that you think that Mannequin's Scepter kind of falls off late game, so maybe Death Star would have been nice. But yeah, I'm not cross with it. And I also really like the pick for Medusa with Eye of the Jungle for their attack speed and power and protection. So that's a very interesting stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think before Protector of the Jungle gets nerfed, I think it's such a strong item for ADCs, because you get such a crazy amount of attack speed and a crazy amount of power from the upgrade. At least I do hope that, I mean, I've never seen anyone go for Seer the jungle. I don't even know if it really works if you're not like, you know, super high competitive SPL player who really worries about other wards. But even then, you know, like with the current iteration of Protector of the Jungle, you always go for that upgrade, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've seen that Death's Toll Bologna has pushed Tyr back already for the, you know, 3 minutes in. So maybe, I don't know if he was going back just to buy an item. Yeah, I think maybe he went back to upgrade his boots early.
Yeah, and he actually doesn't go for a starter item, which is really fascinating. I don't really know what he's going to go for. What do you think might be the play for Stickman? What do you reckon he'll try and go for as a starter item? If he can survive.
Maybe Bumba's Hammer upgrade, if he can survive this. But there's the ultimate down. She does manage to secure the kill. Susanna was thinking about coming around to gank, but just couldn't get there in time. I feel like backing at that stage might have cost him a bit of XP, and you can see that Bologna's already leveled up and is, as we said, a really, really strong lane bully. Even though Tyr's passive might work in his favour, and his kit in general, it's just sometimes Bologna just bullies you out of the lane, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, Bologna hit level 5 in that fight, and that's rough when you're tier level 3 and you haven't got. You recently got your warrior tabi, but even then, it's like Bologna level 5 at that point. You getting the ultimate and the stun, you're never going to survive that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The other thing is that Tyr doesn't have a teleportation glyph. He has Aegis, so it means that he won't be able to get back into lane to get that farm and keep that pressure up, and there's just, you know, the constant stream of minions and farm. If he's not there in time, Bologna could come back, clear the wave, go and clear the jungle camps, and, you know, look, as she's, you know, oh no, she's doing her camps rather. But, you know, it's one of those tough choices you have to make, because teleportation glyph does fall off late game unless you upgrade it and your team's facing wards. Just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, look at the player damage at the top left. Bologna head and shoulders above the rest, and actually, Thakati doing really well. Bologna's Thakati. Kiwi Bunny's doing a really good job as well, doing so much damage in the duo lane, kind of pretty much equalising the Mannequin Scepter for Gorilla's cams.
Gorilla Cams' Mannequin Scepter has paid off, with Sylvanas being up there in terms of player damage ahead of the junglers. So, you know, it's working out quite well at this stage. I'd like to see Sol be a bit more aggressive, but she does know that Scylla has that extreme burst damage, wrap 2, and then if she ults, she's down. So she's just staying back right now until she can level up and get some real pressure on her. I think that's quite a wise idea, but I am excited to see that matchup later on in the game.
Yeah, oh, here we go. And all of a sudden, Sir Lucifer's kind of a bit in trouble with Stilla going underneath the wall with a 3, and Hearing Wolf going into the tower.
That was aggressive.
Oh my gosh, so much damage.
Oh, she's so close. She finished him off. Oh, that was so good from Scylla. And we did hear that Wizzy was going to carry, and we've just seen that. Unlucky there to get the equaliser. Is Wizzy going to finish him off? I'm not too sure. She got the she's got the abilities online.
Yeah, apologies
such a shame.
to the stream.
It's such a good start to the game.
Apologies to the stream that another kill for Thakati, but Bethlol is slightly behind because she has to watch my Discord stream to help her to spectate the game. So we might see a few delays in that point, but yeah, the prophecy is foretold. The chat knew that Wizzy is going to carry, and that was some brilliant play. You know, it hit every ability in that sequence. And,
nice ult from Amir there.
Perky Crab just kind of pushing them away. I don't think there's going to be any kill potential here unless they overextend.
I don't know. Medusa's quite low and Neitha's right there, but you know, Medusa dash down just means she does get away.
Yeah, I think they rightly didn't overextend.
Oh, they did.
So Thakati again, really, really bullying Stickman here. It's kind of unfortunate to see such a rough solo lane. I mean, 7 minutes down, tier 1 tower gone, 3 level difference.
There is that gank though. I mean, if Tyr manages to stay in, they might be able to take her. But I mean, Bastet is in mid lane; she could rotate over quite easily. They're deciding not to fight her at this stage. Tyr needing that farm in order to equalise with her. But you know, that farm denial, because she's pushing all the minions up right to the tower so that he gets less gold and XP.
Yes.
It's a difficult one. What do you do in that situation? What are your top tips for, you know, coming back against a solo lane bully?
Well, I mean, it's slightly counterintuitive for maybe new players, but you just gotta really play defensive. You don't try and take risks to try and get back into the game. You basically let them play their game and give a bit of map control to them, but just so that you don't overextend and let them extend their lead by killing you. If you stay alive, that's the best thing you can do. And here we go again.
Oh,
There's a lack of wards here
no.
for Stickman, means that Thackety can just come in with the ult, and the stun is just enough to finish off the kill. Oh, rough
Unfortunate,
to
isn't
see.
it? Because Bologna is just so strong right now, especially with Death Star. It's really, really hard to counterpick. But it does look like Team GrogChamp are coming over to avenge their fallen comrade as the three of them gank over, and I think they're going to finish the kill. Is it enough? Can they quite get to him? I'm not too sure. Oh, what a shame. Oh, that's such a shame, isn't it?
I mean,
Team F7 manages to get away from that.
yeah, I mean, Monkey Boy did really well to juke those shots. I mean, even with the Scylla ult coming down, I could have been really bad. I mean, another kill going towards their favour would have just been really rough, because I mean, at least from my perspective, Team GrogChamp have the better late game comp. I mean, have the slightly better scaling on their gods with Scylla, at least in the late game, and feeding her even more would have just been really rough. And I don't know, this looks like it could be a lot more GrogChamp favoured this first game compared to the friendlies that occurred a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we were talking about the synergy between the different god picks there, and GrogChamp do have a lot. I thought that Team F7's god picks are quite good counters to GrogChamp, but if once they get those levels ahead of them in the early to mid game, really all you're doing is trying to fight for your farms so that they just don't beat you up in the jungle every time they see you. So I don't think there's a massive level difference at the moment, apart from obviously solo lane. The rest of them look fairly equal, so I don't think it's going to be. Don't think they're at that stage yet, but you can very, very easily steamroll as you transition from early to mid game, and you get those more items online.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even 10 minutes gone, and there's a big Experian gold difference right now across the teams, at least, mainly due to Thackety's absolutely dominating the solo lane. And I think it's definitely going to work out better for Team GrogChamp to have like an actual dedicated tank in the solo lane instead of a hunter.
Absolutely, and remember, Bologna isn't really building many protections. She's about to build Frostbound Hammer, so she's only actually got
This is true.
20 physical protections right now.
Yeah.
Whereas Tyr going in as a tankier god, so that might work in their favour. However, Amir is an extremely tanky support.
Yeah, this is true. I mean,
if they can dish out all the damage.
Yeah, it's very easy to get much further ahead when you build damage items in solo, and going with both Ninja Tabai and Berserker's Shield will get you ahead faster as a result, and means that you'll have to build pretty much only tank items from here on to make sure that you can survive the damages in the late game, unless you're going to really play like another jungler style kind of solo.
It might be a double jungle. You don't know if she's going to come in and gank. The thing is with Valona is she can just dive in, run away while the rest of the team chases up and finishes the damage, and then she can conclude and finish up. So they have got to have that synergy as a team, and with all the subs going on, especially for Team F7 last minute sub, we just have to make sure that they're good at communicating and warding and calling out. I don't think the game's over at all by any means. I think it could still be anyone's game. I think that there's just a significant lane difference in the solo lane, but it's just solo lane,
Yeah. I mean, like speaking of the sub, Lucifer's done really well to keep up with some really good Scylla play so far. Hasn't
absolutely
lost too much damage to the tower. And Sol, I mean, I don't know, you could probably consider, oh, hello, there's a kill in the left jungle. Monkey Boy getting a kill down for Team F7, that's really big.
Yeah, manages to get rid of their support as well, so they can pretty much dive Neef, three of them over there. Bastet rotating to see if she can support, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Doesn't quite have the mana to continue going. That's unfortunate, but even so, pretty happy to get the kill off. But now Hearing Wolf coming in for the gank on very low health for Aurora Briar Rose. And Wizzy's right there in time as well. Perfect timing.
Oh, wow. What a jump.
And Gorilla's Cam's going to be tagged up to just walk away. Yeah, evening out the kills just in that one interaction. Not sure if they really should have known any better to stay a bit longer than necessary, but I don't know, it's hard. I mean,
I would not have expected two gods to come out of the jungle at that stage, so yeah. I don't fault them for that. I think that they need to understand that Scylla is hungry. She's been everywhere. She's ganked at all of the lanes so far, and she's been going for those kills. So I think they might want to watch out for those aggressive Scylla plays. They are really paying off. Bit of a fight in the jungle, moving to mid lane. That's a soul ultimate.
Yeah, doesn't hit with any part, but that's what happens sometimes. Wizzy just farming.
When I play soul, I can't. I recently realised that with the soul ultimate, you move it as it's firing. I thought you just put it in one place. I was like, why isn't my ult doing much damage?
Yeah, why? Why is it such a small amount of area? Yeah, interesting. Unloading a lot of damage into Gorilla's cams there. Not really sure if Thackety knew that Aurora Briar Rose were just around the corner. And Lucifer... Did Lucifer just TP over... Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's 4 of them of GrogChamp against Team F7 here in this siege for the lane. Might be successful. They do have another person coming over. Monkey Boy looking to see if there's any gankable opportunities there in the jungle. Scylla is coming up. She might be able to catch Susanna by surprise.
I mean, I just kind
of feeling it out.
I just kind of lost concentration in the fight. If I'm really glad one didn't happen there, because I was just amazed that Lucifer went TP as mid laner. Just very unusual, very unusual choice for Relic. I mean, it might be a bit tricky because if you don't have Aegis as a mid laner in late game, you're probably going to die really quickly in some circumstances. But who knows?
Kind of mids and carries pick TP at the moment because you get to lane faster, you can farm the lane faster, you can assist better, especially if they're warding. They've got now just the one teleport glyph because teleport Aegis, but I mean you can get to lanes quicker. And remember, the map is so much larger this season. It might be incredibly helpful to be able to go from one side of the map to the other like that. Especially if you haven't got global ult like Athena or Thanatos or Apollo or Janus, it might be really helpful.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, yeah, I agree that it's definitely going to help you farm faster. Usually that's why solo wood laners would like to do that, just so they can farm and be ahead earlier. But then the thing is, if you're a solo laner, you don't scale very well late game. That's just the way it is, and you just got to play your role, and that's all you can really do. But if you're a carry, then I feel like the idea is that you're trying to get to the late game and be good in the late game. So getting relics to help you pop off better late game is going to be the way to go. At least that's it seems to be that the standard stuff that we've seen for many years in Smite. But at least for this part, that Lucifer's chosen not to do that, which is fine. We'll see. We may see it pay off throughout the game.
I think it will. I've seen when I've been playing with some of my friends, and she plays carry, she'll get a teleport glyph as her second relic. Just pausing that thought there, while this team fight breaks out into the jungle, that Amir freeze manages to pay off quite well to manage to allow them to escape. That was Susanna ult, and Scylla manages to secure the kill. Soul ults behind her just to make sure that nobody's following.
That was a very scared ult. And Aurora Rose falls down to Wizzy with another hit on this too. Oh, a triple kill for Wizzy against, now we're finishing off Gorilla's cams. My gosh.
Who's in the chat? I think we're in £5. That's brilliant.
They knew.
What a fantastic play.
This is a bit rough.
Wow.
I mean, originally we were thinking that Thackety was really running the show, the solo lane, but now Wizzy's really strutting their stuff with the triple kill in the left jungle.
And I think that especially if you're substituting for Cathal, who was doing so well as Janus last game, you can tell that they remembered because they banned Janus. I think it's safe to say that next game they're going to ban Scylla, because this is a really good pick for Wizzy in the mid lane. Really, leading the game with top kills. It's great to see. It's great to see that they've managed to find a good sub, one that fits in with the team well, doing lots of rotations, obviously listening to those call outs and responding to the team. It's really nice to see, and it enables them to not only get a triple kill but take the gold free rate uncontested. So great play so far from the team.
We're extending their lead in all the best ways possible at this stage of the game. And Blurry Boy is saying, hand me over the money. I didn't take the bet. I could have very much believed you that Wizzy was gonna carry from when you said it. Too talented to have Asian fingers. Okay, fair enough. Oh no! I mean, I didn't.
We didn't. Another kill.
Yeah, didn't even see it happen, or didn't have the foresight to see it happen. But I could just see in the far distance the "I'm a monster" popping out, and getting that kill on Gorilla's cams again. That's rough. I mean, a level 17 Scylla, that's really, really bad news for Team F7.
Absolutely, and if you look at the player damage tab, you just see all of Team GrogChamp dominating the board,
Oh my
and
gosh,
the
yeah, you're
rest
right.
of Team F7 below. It is a real difference at this stage. You know, it's too early to tell early to mid game, but as you get towards the transition to mid to late game at this stage, where they're starting to reach those later levels, 17, 18, on to 20 to upgrade their starter items, it is a very dangerous path. So they have to be careful. They have to control their farm, ward, group up, listen to call outs. If you spot an enemy that's over leveled you, don't engage in team fights, because at the moment Conquest has turned into a little bit more like arena.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing like
So,
the player damage and the gold per level across the board. You never see all 5 members of one team being ahead in damage from the other team. Usually, the solo laner or some kind of player has more damage than the support for the winning team, at least, surely. But not
right.
this case. That's just incredible.
Absolutely. It's still a really, really strong performance from Team F7, don't get me wrong. It's just the fact that I think once they start to get those levels on, if you're engaging in those fights, there's not really much you can do, because they're just going to continue to out-farm you, because they're going to pressure you back to your tower or get the XP from the kill if you stay too far out. It is just a shame that sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles, but I don't think it's game over yet. I think it's just hard, and Faculty is completely dominating the solo lane with his Death Toll Bologna. You know, as expected, she is such a lane bully, and it'll be interesting to see if Tyr is going to build an upgraded starter item later on at the game. Will it be worth it? Is he going to be able to pull the game around unless Team GrogChamp manage to ump up the ante and start getting those phoenixes and really pushing for it?
Yeah.
Are they going for Fire Giant or just the Pyromancer?
I think they're thinking about it, you know. Looks like they
are
going
for it. They are thinking about the Fire Giant
a 4-man
at this
knockup.
stage of the game. A 19-minute Fire Giant. I think they're thinking about making a siege. It is pretty much uncontested, as Team F7 are in mid lane, haven't thought toward the Fire Giant. I would say it's too early, so I think this is a great opportunity, but I'm not sure if they're all going to be able to survive to take the buff. Scylla putting out the ult to finish it off, and just manages to escape with about half a HP.
Yeah.
Some fantastic plays from Wizzy, definitely.
I think they recognise they are really far ahead, and it's a good call, definitely, to pull Fire Giant. Uncontested, I don't think that... I mean, maybe Team F7 didn't even know that they were going to go for the Fire Giant, but even if they did, I mean, they've probably been like, you know what, actually, we probably can't contest it, they're too far ahead, and they'll just win in the team
They
fight.
are quite far ahead in the XP. Not so much in kills, you know, only an 8 kill difference. I think that, you know, if there was 30 to 22, it wouldn't be that much of a difference, but I think that they've managed to play it fairly conservative and avoid being killed, and still manage to deal out those damage and pick those moments.
Yeah, definitely.
Really just obliterating those minions in mid lane. They just go like that up in the air.
I was trying to think of what Stickman could do in terms of, you know, having the freedom to choose whatever upgraded starter item later on. But I mean, at this stage of the game, I mean, I'll be amazed if they get to level 20. But even then, I think maybe Bumba's Hammer would be pretty cool on tier, because you can do quite a fair few auto cancels with the fact that you can start change with him. But even then, like,
absolutely.
I mean, to get yourself to that level 20 threshold, I feel like Mantle of Discord should have been the last item, because it's so expensive.
Need a bit more power definitely in there to get that farm. That's the only problem. I mean, I know there's the 40 power from the Warrior Tabai, but you do need a little bit more power. I think Shifter's Shield gives maybe 35.
Yeah, but
not a lot of health I'm seeing in these items.
It gives you.
So you can have, but what are you protecting?
With Shifter's Shield, if you're above 75% health, you get 70 power total. So it is pretty good for that. And there's a huge fight going on here. It looks like Gorilla Cam's not going to survive. The same with Monkey Boy, with the amount of damage that Tear Blue. Oh my god!
Still has the ult.
Yeah, gets the kill on Aurora Briar
one
Rose.
Shot.
Oh, the Neath ult coming for Lucifer as well to stun, and that should be the kill because of that CC.
It's Tierney. Oh wait, that is really, really unfortunate.
Great recognition from the rest of Team GrogChamp to know that the Neath ult would have guaranteed the kill if they just kept on chasing. And that's the power of Scylla, man, just being able to do so much damage in team fights, and you know, when they're ahead as well, it's even worse, because you more often proc that passive for Scylla's ultimate to get the second shot off. Now we're probably going to see a Phoenix go down.
soloed the Primal Fury. Has she got upgraded Death Toll? Where is
Uh,
she? No!
she doesn't have upgraded Death Toll.
She
No.
hasn't, but she's still... Did she solo it, or was Scylla there too?
I didn't notice. I was looking at the Phoenix going down.
Yeah, me too. What? That was like a... Not only have they got the Fire Giant, they win a team fight and basically get a deicide. Then they take a Phoenix and the Primal Fury at the same time. There's just some mad skills.
Thackety is now trying to solo Stickman and Monkey Boy, but thinks better of it. And I mean, this is another big power spike for Team GrogChamp now, because Thackety once they reach 150 gold, or no, sorry, 1500 gold, they'll be able to go back and get upgraded Death Toll, and that combo with Bologna is just a bit ridiculous. It'll get nerfed on Tuesday.
Yes. Absolutely. So I'm sorry that I can't do as much colour commentary before. I've actually got quite bad resolution on here, but I'm doing my best to bring it to you guys watching the stream.
Stickman's slightly out of position.
It looks like
has to use bees to get out of there, and does manage to survive, but the cats are chasing him down. And pretty good knockout from Gorilla's Cams to at least dissuade Team GrogChamp away. And oh my gosh, Gorilla's Cams, even as a support, gets their health total pretty much decimated by one ability from Wizzy, sorry. There's just not a single character.
They're about to get...
Go on, sorry.
Is Medusa going to gank them? I think she's just going to farm the middle lane. She can't really come into that team fight. It does not look like this is going to go well for Team F7. It does look like Team GrogChamp are going to just annihilate them. There's a couple of ults down, as well as they're doing some proper damage. Emir ult down manages to get them to really, really low, but they do manage to just escape. Emir taking the damage from the Phoenix, but I don't feel like anybody's going to really focus at the moment because they can do the damage. But Sol manages to secure a kill.
But Aurora Briar Rose falls as a trade, but that might be enough to dissuade Team GrogChamp to push any further. They do get the Phoenix for their troubles, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Fire Giant buff has run out now at this stage, and the only ult they have is Thackety, and she's at base, so it's not much they can do at this stage. They did do really well to siege, but they could not keep the momentum up to call that finishing game. But they're a fantastic performance so far, definitely. It's really great to see that Sol managed to secure a kill at that stage in the siege, especially against Bologna, who was such a force at this stage of the game, level 20. She's now got Death's Embrace. It might be over. She is squishy though. She's got some health, some magical protections, some physical protections.
I mean, Stone Cutting does give you physical protections when you proc the passive from it, which kind of adds on to it. But yeah, it's not very much. Actually, quite a very high damage build for Bologna, but I think it's pretty strong. It seems that Thackety knows how to get in and procs those passives, especially Death Toll with the Death Embrace, sorry, with the healing they can get from that.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. So it looks like they're continuing to siege the right jungle. Sylvanas not aware that they're there and trying his best to clear with the Mannequin Scepter. Amir's just going in straight for the freeze. And Bastet's just going to jump over the wall. Sylvanas ult down trying to save himself, but Amir's coming to ult. Rest of the team desperately trying to flank to get round to him, but it's not enough as Bastet takes the kill. Susanoo ultimate down and Sol ultimate down as they're trying to defend. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get back into base. They're just overextended, but the Silhouette comes down. Double kill with the Silhouette. Is that going to be a triple ult? If she can get there in time, it might be, but I don't think that she's going to be able to reach in time as the ult timer disappears. But she is able to get underneath those walls.
Oh my goodness.
And really make the most of that burst damage. Late game Scylla, 10-0 for Scylla. 10-0 for Scylla. What a fantastic performance from Wizzy. I mean, if I had money, and I make the bet, I'd be like, take my money, Wizzy stands. I'm pleased to see you here supporting the team. And it looks like this is a complete sweep for GrogChamp. Fantastic performance on both sides, but really, Scylla and Bologna, what a performance. What do you think?
Smashed it. Just complete and utter dominance. It's all the thing is, if you're Stickman, you gotta know that going against a Bologna, and when you don't pick a starter item, lest it not be Bluestone especially, you're gonna really have a rough matchup. And that was the beginning of the first of many woes for Team F7. But yeah, and I don't know if there's very much you can do when you have a Scylla free casting with so much damage, getting fed so quickly, and I love the Sundering Axe choice as well for Wizzy. It's fairly commonly seen for a lot of mids right now, especially at the very top level. So it looks like Wizzy really knows their stuff.
Absolutely, and it's great to wait until the late game to get that starter item, and I do think that's what Tyr was going to do. He just didn't manage to get the farm to do it, and I think that what the Team F7 are going to do is they're going to actually swap Sol and Tyr, so they're going to swap their mid and their solo laner for the next game. Obviously, if they had a bit more time before the tournament, they would have been able to go, actually, I think I'm strongest in these roles, so we will allow it for this stage because they've had a late game sub, and I think that because Team GrogChamp performed so well, I think they'll be confident in that decision as well. So I have allowed that to happen, and we're just going to start spectate them. We'll start the new game in a few minutes' time. But what a game! That was just complete annihilation from that Scylla. 10-0 at the end. Great performance.
Yeah, definitely. I think the first things first, we'll talk about this a bit more, but we're going to take a very, very quick break, and we'll be right back with you with the game 2 of Team F7 versus Team GrogChamp.
Yes. Sam got called away for medical school.
Oh gosh, that's such a shame. We're back live, by the way, everyone. Sorry, I couldn't quite get in before you said that.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Are we gonna keep the same teams though for the rest of the games?
Yeah, I think we will, just in case it happens again, and I think that it's only fair. I'm just seeing if I can keep an eye on the chat, because I haven't actually had any access to the chat, so I haven't seen the messages. So just want to see if I can get it on my phone whilst.
Yeah, for sure. You're also sounding a bit robotic. Oh, you're better now. It's fine.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's because I really wanted a cookie before we started, and I didn't have time, so I've only had like a tiny bit of my cookie, and I really want it, but I also have a passionate hate for eating noises, so I would never want to inflict that on anybody. And obviously microphone. Sorry if you can hear my cats. So let me just move the cookies away for a temptation, and I'm going to keep this here as a celebratory cookie for after the next match for whoever wins. Good luck, everybody. I want this cookie, so win it for me and the cookie.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let me just message the team captains and say we're ready.
Awesome, yeah. I've queued to spectate, so we'll get there. Apologies for the slight
Yeah.
downtime. We're just trying to make sure everything's okay between in third person. We don't have many people working in the background to get this running, other than just us two, pretty much.
I mean, I have my butler, Cameron, who's here with my coffee. Thank you, Jeeves.
Yeah.
He's actually playing in one of the teams.
Yeah.
There he is, sitting down now.
I just played, I was Scylla.
Cameron says it was me. I was Scylla.
Yeah. Oh, I could tell it was
Yeah.
definitely him by the way it was played.
By the way, he was not shouting in the background
Yeah.
of the stream.
So okay,
Okay.
so there's I can answer this question for you. I think you probably know there's two easy answers that I'm going to give you now, and that is you ban
Me?
Scylla, you ban Scylla and you ban Bellona. Otherwise, what do you do if you're team F7? You there?
Well,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm there. I'm just thinking. I think you ban Bellona. I think you ban Osiris. I think you ban. I'm just trying to think of all the auto attack warriors, because obviously Thakati will be good with them as well. Or maybe you if you're gorilla cams, you lock one in first. Do you know what? I don't know. I would just want to say, don't ban these gods, because this is my top god and I want to play this god and I'm going to play it better, and we know how they work now, and this is round 2 and we're going to get pumped. And remember, they are going to have another game later on in the league tournament as well against each other, so if it does go 2-0 to GrogChamp, it doesn't mean the team of 7 won't go 2-0 against them later on when they then play on the order side.
Yeah.
So it could be anybody's game, but look at the Scylla ban.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was going to say that was pretty
Get wrecked.
no-brainer. And Bastet. Okay, they didn't like the Bastet in particular, but they're letting.
I thought the
Bellona through.
Bastet was gnarly. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was really, really good.
Yeah. Although they've chosen Thakati's gone Sol. Okay, hold on a second. Is it? Have we got the right? I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, okay. No. I was like, oh wait, why is Sol
Okay.
going to play solo? But actually, they're probably just locking in Sol early on so they can rotate. They can swap the gods.
You don't
of
ban
players.
the soul. You are the soul.
Yeah.
Don't need to ban a soul if you pick her. Thank you, Jeeves. Pain relief. Can we get a shout out for Jeeves in the Twitch chat? Thank you. Because your name's Cameron, but I prefer Jeeves. Xingtian! I love Xingtian so much. I think Xingtian is such a good aggressive support. I think with the Medusa ult as well, burn the beads, get them down. I think that is going to be brilliant. And there's the Guan Yu pick for Thakati. I know, and the Tsukuyomi pick as well for Hearing Wolf, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. So I'm really, really excited for GrogChamp with these gods. But if you can't tell, I'm also really excited for Xingtian. What do you think about those picks?
Yeah, really top picks. I mean, they not much that Team F7 can do but just to have to let Tsukuyomi through because they've got so many other gods they want to ban. It's funny because they banned Tsukuyomi. Hearing Wolf picks Bastet, smashes it with Bastet. So now they ban Bastet and they go back to Tsukuyomi.
Ban Bastet, pick Tsukuyomi.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But also, I like what they've done here with picking. They pick Soul for Perky Crab, I believe. I guess anyway. Actually, wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember the roles per player. I think maybe they're picking Soul for Wizzy if they've banned Scylla. It's quite smart. And then they've knocked in Guan Yu for Thakati.
Swap, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's great. I mean, Guan Yu's for me the best solo laner right now. Will scale really well in the late game, and should be
particularly helpful as
it'll
well.
make it
Yeah.
really rough for Lucifer. Is going to have to play their first game in solo for the of this series, having swapped the Stickman, I believe.
Another Ganesha ban.
Right.
I do feel like Ganesha was a really, really good support. Obviously, they've banned King Arthur and Ku Khulain, two gods that faculty does not want to go against. I would say that Tyr is probably most similar to those gods in terms of their kit and what they can do. So it's gonna really be interesting to see if Stickman's gonna go, because now Stickman will be mid. No, hang on. Lucifer is now going to be solo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Stickman mid with Merlin.
So it'd be interesting to see if Lucifer will pick maybe a mage, or maybe he will go. Maybe he'll go Tyr. Maybe he's more confident in Tyr versus Guan Yu. It might be a better matchup for him. Just don't know. I like Chuck. You know, I know that Chuck's not, you know, the strongest.
Hold on.
Solo laner right now. But I think that he's a really good pick, and I think what we're about to see is a Guan Yu and Sol.
Yeah, Guan Yu actually is going to go
Duo.
support, it looks like, and Kiwi Bunny's picking up Sun Wukong for Thakati instead. But now Lucifer gets to counter pick against Sun Wukong. But there's not too many picks left with King Arthur and Cuckoo banned. But oh yeah, the chat coming out, there we are.
I love the chat coming out. I think Chuck is such a good god at the moment, really strong in solo lane and also late game. I know that you disagree, and I know that you say he has diminishing returns, but I stand the Chuck.
It's not just the diminishing returns that's bad about him. He's just got such a limited and predictable kit. The worst warrior in the game, in my opinion. Anyway, it's differing opinions. We can just move on from that, and let's see how Lucifer gets on with Chak against a Thakati Sun Wukong. I think it's going to be rough again, but who knows how well Lucifer will cope in this solo lane.
No, to be honest, I think he'll be okay. Actually, I don't. It depends. It really depends. I mean, when I play solo, I play Chak or Athena and die 12 times. So when I play Chak, and I've gone against a Wukong before, and it hasn't been hard. We've felt kind of even. Sometimes I'll get more over him. Yes, he's got his line attack, but if you dodge it, you know, and you can slow him as well, and his transformation's incredibly annoying, but you know, they're not massively damaging. I don't know, it just depends.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've actually, I don't know if you've been up against Sun Blue Kong before. That's really rough laning stage if you're up against that. One of the strongest lane bullies early game. What? Who? Sorry, Sun Wukong or Chuck?
Yeah, I think when I faced him.
Okay, right, I see. Yeah. Well, I think Warrior's Axe will let you build Sundering Axe late game, which is really powerful. But Bluestone, not being one of the best starter items in the game, is particularly incredibly strong with Sun Wukong and Tyr as well, of course. But I've seen Ducky play a lot of Sun Blue Kong on his stream, and he absolutely smashes it every time. Wins quite often with it. So, well, we'll see if Thakati can do that. But moving away from the solo lane, it looks like we'll have like a Sol vs Merlin matchup. I'm not sure if you're already familiar with that kind of a playthrough. Oh,
I didn't
even notice the Nemesis pick from
Ula might go mid, and Sol and Guan Yu. I don't know.
That's true. That's very true, actually. Ula,
I love the Ula pick.
Yeah, Ula being more of an ability-based hunter.
Wizzy's mid, you know, so I think we're going to see that.
That's right. Yeah,
so that you don't lose mid.
Yeah, I completely missed that. Kiwi Bunny is the carry, so I think you're right. I think Ula will go mid. So it'll be Ula versus Merlin, some kind of stance switches.
I'm really, really excited to see the Tsukiyomi.
Oh, yeah.
I think they played so well last time we saw him and we'll play Tsukiyomi, so I'm really, really, really excited. I love the Nemesis pick from Monkey Boy. Nemesis, so mobile, great ultimate with the slow. She's got a shield as well. I think Nemesis is a really, really good jungler right now. I am really excited for the teams again. I think I'm more excited for these matchups than I was for the last team, so I think this is a much better synergy for Xingqian and Medusa work really well together. Merlin can pull them in, Chuck can just silence them as well.
Doesn't Xing,
I think it'll be really good.
Does Xing actually rotate your orientation when he ults? I don't think he does, but That would be pretty crazy if that's the case. Not familiar enough with it.
No, you stay in the same direction.
Okay, right,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah. Because if that,
go,
yeah, I was thinking that would be unbelievable synergy. If that was
it's
the case.
not like a carousel.
Yeah.
No, but Medusa can still come in and ult them, or he can ult them after a Medusa ult to chuck them all in. But the thing is, with Xingtian, what you want to do is you want to ult them and then do your 2, which picks them up and then roots them in place. So whilst you're doing that, they still take damage. So they'll still take the damage from Merlin. So let's say that Merlin decided to chuck in, his Icefall or his whatever, any of his 2s, really realistically. That would be really powerful damage. Nemesis could then go in. Chuck could go in with an axe throw or a spin or make it rain to slow them so the rest of them can get them out. So I do think that's going to be really, really, really rewarding in team fights. I'm excited to see that. But Ula mid, can we talk about this Ula mid pick? I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for Stickman 420 to, I know that Merlin's got the kind of blink, but Ula's got the stun. He's got 6 abilities.
Yeah, so Merlin kind of has 9. Or, 10, I guess, if you count the ultimate.
But they're not really, because...
Well, I suppose the blink's the same across the board.
3 of them are the same, do you know what I mean? So it's not really... Yeah, he's got 6, but they all kind of do basically the same 8. Thing. Circle damage or line damage. That's it, whereas Ula's got a stun, a jump, a speed buff, an attack speed buff, an aerial drop. I think Ula's more versatile than Merlin.
Perhaps. I mean, I've played a lot more Merlin than Ula, so I'm aware of how different his abilities can be.
Ula's 6th ability.
Oh, I love the Conduit gem for Merlin, actually, because it leads into... It's not Archmage's gem, it's the other one. Is it gem... the other gem name, I can't believe I forgot the name of it, but that's so sick on Merlin as a stance changer.
Gem of Focus.
Gem of Focus, that's the one. Yeah, it's because Merlin spams so much with being a stance changer, it's going to work really well. And we see Tainted Steel for Thakati on Sun Wukong, not the Bluestone as I was trying to hype up. Do they? I suppose they believe there's probably going to be a lot of healing in the side of Team F7.
Jack obviously has a heal, but it's more of used as a slow more than anything else. I mean, it does mean that he won't be able to stay in lane as long, so I quite like that if he's going to be quite aggressive, but I mean, it doesn't give as much. I would only buy Tainted Steel if I was against an Anubis or a Hades or a Zonkui or maybe a Chongar. I wouldn't buy it against Ra.
Really?
Because I feel like Ra's heal isn't a massive part of his kit. I think late game, it's annoying when he can heal up enemies, but unless he's going, Lotus Crown, Word of the Sleepiest, all of that business, I wouldn't buy it against Ra if I was an opponent. I would rather have more power against Ra because he's going to be squishy and he's not going to be able to heal the damage that I do to Ra if I was seeing him solo. But if it was like a Zonkui or a Hades or an Anubis, then I would buy Tainted Steel because that lifesteal is an integral part of their kit, and it gives them that sustain and that power over you. I'm not sure. I like the upgrades for Tainted Steel, but we'll just see. He might have a plan. He's got 3 health challenges and 3 health pots, so he's obviously planning to stay in lane longer. Maybe he's going to try and bully the lane again. By staying in it, getting to level 5. When you come back as level 3, just although some Wukong's I don't know. We'll just have to see. I would love to understand Thakati's thought process, and I think we'll see it demonstrated later on. But let's look at this duo lane even. We have got Sol and Guan Yu in the solo lane. I really quite like that pick. Very off meta.
Yeah,
not off meta, but off. Having a warrior and a mage instead I like to think of it as the hipster version of the duo lane.
Yeah, I mean, Guan Yu doesn't really have that much CC. Has a fair bit of protection shred, which is nice, but mainly known for the heals more than anything, and can be a pretty good tank, I guess. But not so commonly seen in support, whereas in solo he's so much better, from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there. I've played a couple of games as Guan Yu support, and I found it quite difficult to support. The only thing that you can really do is just attack the person who's attacking your carry and try and heal them when it's online. But it's just mana hungry, The mana buff is extremely helpful for Guan Yu, which is why he sits so well in solo. Unless he's going to be aggressive and finish off those kills with his ult, or maybe get the stun in with his ult. But again, that's only every 70 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Um,
And of course, maybe what even without Bluestone,
there might be a kill in duo lane.
Oh yeah, so Pokécrab's a little bit low.
Yeah,
but,
he got stunned by Medusa, and then they managed to do quite a lot of damage to him. But he's got his heal.
Oh, you know what?
So...
Actually, that's pretty rough actually for Pokécrab, because Medusa has just anti-heal within the kit of Medusa. It will make one use heal a little bit worse. And Sol, probably kind of naturally, you'd want to build some kind of lifesteal build on her. So it might be
yeah, I think Sol will go for lifesteal boots.
Might be a bit more of a favoured matchup for Team GrogChamp, but
Xingtian gets the kill, but Tsukuyomi's coming in to finish them off. Medusa is extremely low, and so is Xingtian. I'm not sure if Hearing Wolf's going to be able to get them with, level 3, all the abilities on cooldown, but manages to come in and really support Sol in that moment. Just a couple of seconds too late, but still, I was so excited to see Tsukuyomi coming in. I was like, yes, Hearing Wolf Sook, let's go!
Yeah, you gotta. I feel like you gotta be a little bit aware if you're pushing up that aggressively up the duo lane. You gotta ward that one entrance into the jungle. And they didn't see a ward there, and they got punished for it.
Oh yeah, they both still have their wards in their kit. They're not on cooldown, so maybe they've decided to ward maybe their side of the jungle to make sure they don't get a long gank, because they're quite dangerous. But they are going for their buff now, and Sol has managed to clean out that farm.
Oh, Thackty's super low with the Monkey Boy ganking in the solo lane. The Juke's coming out. Is that going to be enough to save him? No, Lucifer's there.
Down?
Lucifer gets the kill.
His ult's down and everything. He doesn't manage to actually ult, or maybe he did ult and we missed it. But I was going to say, if he's got his ult, that would be such a good time to use it. But I think he actually did ult to get away. And what a gank from Nemesis there to support Chak. Knowing that Thackty is a real threat and wanting to support and not, make the same mistake of getting those levels over. I think that was a really good idea. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I've seen so many junglers kind of sitting in solo lane at the moment. What about you? Do you think that we'll kind of see that in this game?
I don't think Monkey Boy will play such a one-dimensional way of jungling in this game. I mean, maybe... I think there may be a bit more belief in this solo lane, at least, especially now that Lucifer's got the first kill in the solo lane. I don't think that Monkey Boy will want to just have to hang around in solo lane to carry the solo lane and through the game, which is probably at least the only reason I can think of why junglers want to try and stay in solo lane in other games that I've played. But I think seeing Monkey Boy play, I think he's a higher level jungler than just doing that kind of thing. I think he'll probably want to play around the map a bit more and try and control all the other lanes a bit better.
Interesting to see that Ulu and Merlin have barely any player damage at this stage. They've been kind of just farming, waiting to get all their abilities online and powerful enough to kind of do that shredding. So, Thackty quite low in the solo lane. And it looks like he's about to get ganked as well.
Yeah, Monkey Boy.
Stay in. I'm going to stay in my tower. I'll do that too, mate, at this stage.
But yeah, Thackty knows Monkey Boy's there. He's seen it even without a ward. I think he could catch a glance and knows what's up. Very smart play from Thackty to not try and extend there. But we've got the ultimate coming down from Hearing Wolf. Putting Stickman in such trouble, but he goes down.
Oh no!
Stickman takes out
too much
Hearing Wolf.
tower damage.
Yeah,
What a shame.
Must have just missed on that ability as he tries to do the tower dive, and that sucks. He definitely had the advantage there.
They traded, and Ulla running away from Sylvanas there, although I don't think Sylvanas was much of a threat at this stage to level 8 Ulla. It just depends how many of his abilities are on cooldown. Dent manages to jump away quite nicely. But what do you think? Was that a good trade? I'm not too sure.
Oh, I mean, it's a great trade for Team F7 for sure, because they were definitely in a bad situation, and I think they needed, or at least they were already ahead, and Team GrogChamp needed to get some kind of advantage to get back into the game, being at that point 2 kills down to 0, and if you get a trade because of a tower snipe, that's always going to be a good trade for you.
Agree with you, because otherwise you could have just died, but if you can make them pay for it, then yeah, I agree with you there. Actually, it's a good point.
Yeah, and so far, probably glad to see that this game's going a bit more in Team F7's favour, having the last game be so one-sided.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I bet that feels really good for them to go, right, yeah, we're pulling ahead this time. We've learnt from our mistakes and we can still do it. And it's hard to have that mentality. You have to be really strong to do that. So it is good to see them doing really well there. But it does look like 3 of them are about to close in on them in the mid jungle. Not too sure if that's going to pay off well for them. Merlin coming in a little bit too late after Tsukiyomi secures the kill. But Xingtian is making a real effort to go in. Just not enough. Back to see a gank from Guan Yu. Does he have ult?
Oh, the ult coming in from Tsukiyomi.
Tsukiyomi does, and he manages to secure another kill. That's incredible. I think they might be able to take this out and get a triple kill. It's just not enough. Xingtian's jump manages to secure him away, and he's just too tanky. Thinking about going into jungle to steal their buff, and Medusa is coming in. I don't know if she's going to meet Tsukiyomi, Sol, and Ulla. It looks like she might. Sol's certainly thinking about starting a fight, but I think she's just going to come into the middle.
It was very close to running into each other there, Kiwi Bunny and Aurora Briar Rose. It looks like they just they go back to farming now, which is probably fair, evening up the kill count. So good stuff from Team GrogChamp to get back into the game and level out the kills, and get slightly ahead on gold now actually.
So excited to see their Tsukiyomi kills. I think that Hearing Wolf Tsukiyomi is a force to be reckoned with, and I think that was a fantastic performance that we saw there, as proves it. A little bit of a ping going on. I think that they're aware that they're kind of converging on that side of the jungle, but they have managed to take the Scorpion.
This might be bad for Hearing Wolf. He overextends a little bit, and Monkey Boy punishes him.
Oh, the heal from Guan Yu so helpful.
Yeah, that was
to
solid.
Get away.
And the protection shred as well, as good as just push them away a little bit. And I think that's still pretty good for Team F7 there, you know, because that was Hearing Wolf overextending and just having to go back to Fountain. And in fact, Perky Crab going back to Fountain as well. So now they get slightly ahead in farm as a result. I mean, it looked like they may have, you know, they'd probably be disappointed to not get the kill, but overall I think it's still a win.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you there. Ulla switching stances like there's no tomorrow just to confuse Merlin. I quite like that. Am I going to jump on you? Am I going to run at you? Am I going to stun you? Am I going to just hit you?
Yeah, and this we're really seeing the Wizzy show, you know, like the highest XP and I imagine gold per minute. Oh, and he gets the kill on Stickman as well. Incredible stuff.
That was like dead. Like that was literally just like, oh, you're going to stay there? I'm going to drop my hours on you. Bye, see you later. Like, let's go. That was amazing. Amazing performance from Wizzy. I see why there's so many cheerleaders for Wizzy in the chat now.
Yeah, Wizzy's going to carry it. And we were all like, oh man, they've lost Cathal. What are they going to do without the sick Janice? And
without the trick Janice plays. Nemesis thinking about putting some pressure on Ulla. Certainly a right thing to do at this stage. But Guan Yu is also actually coming to rotate into the mid lane, so not sure if we'll see much of an interaction here apart from the stun. Guan Yu might come in to finish it off as an aggressive support. Versus ult if he does actually really want to finish it, and he can if he wants to, but decides against it because the tower is there. Could have been lethal, but just wasn't, as Merlin's now back in and can do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's just the tankiness of Xingtian, and oh, looks like Hearing Wolf. Oh, if he just hit that auto, maybe he could have gone low enough to maybe go for the tower dive, but misses it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he does have his ult as well, but he's just not going to go for it. He knows he'd end up in the tower, and he knows that there's Nemesis running in the jungle there as well. Deciding when to use your ult is such a pivotal part of securing those kills. I think that's what makes Hearing with Tsukiyomi stand out so much, is that every time that ult happens, there is always a result.
Oh, I didn't even notice that there was going to be danger
we've just managed to miss another kill in mid lane, again with Wizzy and the Ulla. I think that Team F7 need to focus Wizzy, because see a lot of damage and a lot of kills coming out of that. So if I was Team F7 right now, I'd be like, focus mid, like jungle focus mid, support focus mid.
And Gorilla's Cam's maybe taking a leaf from your book, but with no support from the rest of her team, just taking tons of damage, might be really dangerous here, you know, just pushing up by himself. One health.
Small overextension, and I think that that's the thing, as we were just talking about, to secure that kill for Ulla. just some fantastic plays, really confident in their abilities. And, you know, Tsukuyomi could have used that ult about a minute ago to maybe get a kill on some Wukong, but saves it to know that I'm going to secure a kill for the team with my ult. That's what your ult is for. It's for either saving your life or killing somebody. And, you know, they're really, really good at deciding when to use that. Rather than just to kind of get somebody to back off and maybe get them to half health. I think that's one of the most important skills to develop. You know, if you're going to be doing, I say competitive very, very lightheartedly, because this is the whole statement, and there's no prizes, and we just love everybody, and we think everybody's.
Yeah, we're hyping up for sure, but like, I think we've got to just rein it in a little bit sometimes, because it's like this isn't actually that serious. I don't know.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I think this is brilliant. This is my baby as well, because this group is like my little baby.
Yeah.
That I always wanted to kind of create a safe space for people who play their game that I love very much and has a lot of toxicity in, and I'm really pleased that we've managed to do that. It's successful, and this tournament celebrates it. We can still competitively play in a wholesome manner, not being like, oh, you're trash, I'm getting tilted, no. Like, you know, there's some fantastic players, and everybody can shake hands at the end of the game and go, you're a great player, no you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am getting hyped up about it, but I'm allowed because it's my baby.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, that's fair. A fair bit of just skirmishing going on in mid now. Maybe they, again, as you said, maybe trying to target Wizzy a little bit, but with the rest of his team around, looks like it's going to be a bit difficult for Team GrogChamp to get in. Team F7, I apologise. But Gorilla's Cams is going in, trying to get the stun on Wizzy, and the beads comes out.
Tian, but the beads comes down and it's not enough. She's going to get punished for that because the Merlin is still trying to help, but it's just not enough, really. Manages to get them in, and Medusa manages to secure a kill.
Raw Briar Rose picking off the kill
take down
against Kiwi Bunny, but then
Tsukuyomi makes her pay for it. But
Monkey Boy.
I'm not too sure that they're thinking about boxing each other, but they're about to get a gank from Guan Yu. If Guan Yu has ult, which he doesn't, might be able to punish her for that as well, but just not quite enough. Tsukuyomi incredibly confident, staying in the lane, ready, waiting for that rotation for Guan Yu to come over and help. But yeah, what a fight! 2v1 for Suk, and manages to secure a kill and get the other one off without dying. I think that's brilliant. There's the Wukong ult. We like the Wukong ult.
Yeah, it's usually a fairly efficient use of the ult to do when you've gone below that 50% threshold to get the proc of the passive on both the clone and yourself. So there's good stuff in Blackity, but still, I mean, being behind in level means it's gonna be pretty hard to outbox any solo laner, to be fair, even if it's Chuck. And
I don't sleep on Chuck. You know, don't sleep on him. I think he's banging. I think he can perform really, really well, and he is performing really well. I always want to know, but still.
But even more of
very interesting build.
Even more of a maybe an symmetry in the game is the Stickman being super behind to Wizzy, 4 levels difference in mid in this case, and they're really pushing forward to get that kill on Stickman. Wizzy going in, getting Stickman super low, and just confirms the kill. Gorilla Cams throws him into the tower. Wizzy pops the Aegis, and will he survive as a result? Does so.
Oh, he's got the jump. That's the thing. Ula's abilities are so much more versatile than Merlin's, and I think that although they're stance switches and they've got 6 abilities, Ula just, when you play him right, can do a lot of damage. I loved that ult from Gorilla Cams there, using Chan to put them into the tower, but it just wasn't enough with the Aegis. And they are running into some real trouble now in the jungle. There's the Chuck ultimate down. And the Medusa manages to get Tsukuyomi and just deletes him, and that is how you get the jungler. You freeze them and you focus them. Fantastic play from Team F7 there, really countering them, especially at this stage in the game, making them pay for that, teleporting into the mid tower to defend it, as there is looking like there's going to be a long team fight here, because as you know, at this stage in the game, you swap from Conquest to Arena.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what Team GrogChamp needed to, or Team F7, apologies again, to get back into the game. Because I mean, 9-4 to 9-5 is it's a little bit better, getting over that halfway kills threshold and leaving up the golds like pretty closely, to be honest. I mean, 1.5k at this stage of the game is much better than last game. We can say that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a bit more skirmishing, just trying to dissuade each other from going in too hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this stage.
I just love hearing Ulla just switching stances constantly. You can't outrun my bow. I will hunt you down.
Just trying to take a quick look at the build paths as well for each team. I do like the choice to go full tank with Guan. That's definitely what you need if you're going to try and play support with that kind of character.
Absolutely, you need like a proper tank in the game, absolutely, and usually support should be that person. While solo can build tanky, but with a bit more damage, just to kind of 1v1 that person. Small contesting over the larger Scorpion in solo, but
Oh,
it
Monkey Boy
doesn't
gets
work
that
out
kill.
well for Team GrogChamp, as Team F7 are really trying to defend their right to the giant Scorpion, and if they can't get it, then they'll try and make them pay for it.
Oh, the
Nemesis looking
blink.
exceedingly low, and I like that blink there. Not sure if GrogChamp's going to make them pay for it. It's just not enough to get them. She's so mobile. Nemesis is so mobile.
Yeah, it's so hard to punish Nem just with the shield and the mobility. It makes her such a good jungler at the moment. But it was
Yeah,
pretty good
absolutely.
stuff from Monkey Boy to punish the Scorpion push. And, well, now the Fire Giant spawns. But I don't think we'll see a sub 20-minute Fire Giant this game.
Really, I don't know. It's anyone's call, isn't it? We have seen a couple of early fire giants in these games, but not
Oh,
too sure.
Kiwi
I
Bunny's
think
in a
you
little
need
bit
to
of trouble.
save
Monkey Boy
fire.
decides not to go in. I think maybe may have been a good decision. But it's gone in now.
I think that's the Nemesis. Oh no, it's not the Nemesis. Oh, that was just the two.
Toki Grab has
Why are
decided
you
to ult.
ulting? Stay away from my
Wizzy comes
carry.
in.
Manages to pause her, but I think that's the beast down for Nem, as she has to back away from the fight. So it is now 3v2 in this lane.
Focusing Gorilla Cams. She uses the ult to, well, maybe just to try to get away and save Aurora Briar Rose, but now she really needs to save herself.
She really does need to save herself. She was thinking about it, and I think they both managed to get away, and that's exactly what you need to do as a support. You need to run away from your full health carry, otherwise they're going to lead them. After they kill you, they'll kill your carry. You need to make them choose between you, squishy and full health, or tanky with no health. It's a good support. I like that.
Something else I was going to say is that well, Goldfield goes to Team GrogChamp. That's pretty good going, and we'll extend their lead a little bit more. But I was going to say that I was thinking, I should probably have a look at this Scorpion fight because that's the most normal thing. But now I've done way too many times. I've looked away from Wizzy and he's got a kill, so I better go and look at Wizzy, and then of course a kill happens over the Scorpion, just as I try to choose the correct one. So that's the way it goes as a caster when you're trying to control the camera as well.
Absolutely, and Jolie, I'm not paying you for this, and I think you're doing a fantastic job. So all praise to you for doing this, for streaming this, for doing so much of the work, for learning how to use all of these really complicated controls, and for dealing with me being a little bit behind trying to add colour commentary when I can just see little spots on the map, really. And then I'm looking at the diamonds for the ults and everything. So it's very low budget SPL, but we're doing quite well, I think.
Yeah, we'll definitely improve over time as we learn more. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't wait to see the Joust tournament after this. It's going to be great. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we've got the whole Wholesome League going on with the Conquest, but next, I definitely want to do a Joust tournament. I think that'd be really fun. Easier to manage with 3 people as well.
Agreed.
Everybody involved. Guan Yu looking a little bit outnumbered here, but it's nice to see the rotation from Tsukuyomi hearing well coming in. As Guan Yu is ulting. Doesn't need to ult yet, but there's the ult from Tsukuyomi. So he manages to get him as he's ulting. What a great idea, because obviously he becomes CC immune during that, so a good counter.
I'm really impressed they managed to win that fight. I mean, I guess they did expend 2 ultimates. Well, 2 for 2 in ultimates, but I mean, they were both 2 levels down in total, but they still managed to out-aggress them, which is pretty impressive.
Absolutely, and as I said, it's really good to save your ult until you either need to save your life or kill someone, and I think that's what they both did. Tsukuyomi knowing he could be in real trouble unless he ulted out of Xing Tian's ult, so I think that was good, and obviously it's now paying off to this larger team fight in the jungle. The Team F7 looking slightly spread out as Team GrogChamp come in with slightly higher health than them and manages to secure a kill. There's Stackety with the kill, and it looks like Guan Yu might be in a little bit of trouble, but he does have his heal, and he is sticking close to his squishies.
Dakity's right in the midst of things now. The whole of Team F7 right on top of him gets away just about in time. Only 1 death in that whole skirmish. That's pretty crazy, because that was the stoppable force against the movable object meeting in the jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that because Guan Yu and Seoul still have their ults, that kind of paid off in their favour as well. They managed to get two. Well, they have one death there, and well, when Juicy now has her ults, it's a little bit dangerous to go in. But at that time, Guan Yu and Ulla did have not Ulla. Obviously, Ulla ultimate ready all the time. But Seoul also
Yeah,
had the
you're
ults. So
right.
they could have gone in and maybe done some serious damage there, but
Yeah, there was the exchange of ults in that duo lane, which meant they couldn't use them in that big team fight. So there's maybe meant there was a bit less damage overall shared between the two teams.
I think Medusa's got quite a few levels on Seoul actually at this stage of the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I'm not sure. I haven't really been tracking how much Kiwi Bunny's been trying to farm up in that duo lane, but yeah, Aurora Briar Rose has done well to get 3 levels ahead. Even only being 2 kills in the game. Well, I'm not even sure if both those kills have come against Kiwi Bunny, but I mean the game has kind of been happening all over the map. Not really sure if there's been all that much action in the duo lane, but here's a lot of action coming in the solo lane. Huge ult from Hearing Wolf, gets a ton of damage off Monkey Boy and Lucifer. It's a 3-on-2 and they have to run.
There to heal them up. Oh, they do have the jumps, but I don't think it's going to be enough to catch them. There's a blink down, and Jack is quite tanky.
I don't know if that was a good idea.
He does manage to use that axe to get away, but it's not enough.
Yeah. I think it was a cool idea to try and juke them in that sense, to split them off, but yeah, not quite going to work out.
Chuck's kit though, and Chuck is running away and he throws his axe and then he runs in another direction. You've got to split up. One of you's got to stay by the axe and one of you's got to stay where he's going, because a lot of the time he can either go there or he can just slow you if you're by the axe. So
oh my gosh, there's so much action. Depends. We're catching Thackerty taking off Aurora Briar Rose in the far shot of this camera in the duo lane, but then of course Stickman goes down, being so far out of position, trying to push the mid tower. But now there's still more fighting going on in the duo lane. Thackerty's really low and gets away. Looks like it's going to be the end of the fight there.
That was just unreal. I don't actually know if I'm on camera as well, but the amount of times that I've just been
no, you're not. It's
mouth
okay.
hanging open. I've literally, like, a lot of the time I'm just commentating and then I go, oh, gasp, hands on my head. What? Oh my god, my face is saying a lot more because I just don't have the words. I'm just like, that is a lot of action to talk about in 3 seconds.
I should have
so many ults coming down at the same time.
Yeah, I should have a shortcut key to just put surprise Pikachu face in the middle of the screen whenever something happens. Probably convey what we're feeling a bit better.
Uncontested fire giant for the most part. Nemesis is kind of around that side of the jungle. I don't think she's going to come in to get it. Yeah, they seem to be able to take the fire giant uncontested. That is massive for them at this stage of the game. They can really siege because they do 25% extra damage to structures. So really good time now, especially as they're grouped up, maybe to seize that right Phoenix or the middle tower even maybe. Jing Tian are very far away from the team at this stage. Really need to group up and come in for that siege, hoping they're going to back, but it looks like Medusa's going to go and get the Gold Fury because all 5 of GrogChamp are going to siege this Phoenix. Interesting. Phoenix with Gold Fury. At this stage in the game, I don't think that they can finish, so maybe, maybe
big ult from Lucifer to dissuade them from going in. But I'm not sure if this is going to be enough. There's only 2 of them here in the Phoenix as they try and take it down. It's very low, but I think they're trying to turn on Monkey Boy and Lucifer. Now their health bars just disappear. Perky Crab gets the kill on Lucifer, and now Monkey Boy falls to Thackerty. It's now 2 down. There's still 5 up for blue team. But a really sick ultimate from Guerrilla's Cams.
Into the fray though to help defend, and they are quite low, but they do have Guan Yu's heal and the fire giant buff, managing to retreat at this stage of the game. What do you think? Was that a good trade? They're not going to really be able to make a lot of kind of action happen with the Titan now, and they do have fire giant buff, but they won the team fight. However, GrogChamp did get the Gold Fury, so I'm not too sure how to think about that trade. What do you think?
I think that's a pretty good trade for Team GrogChamp for sure. I mean, you get a Phoenix and 2 kills on their team. It means that you can now you have a follow-up to farm up big time. Even if you can't take the Gold Fury, you can now set up another siege for another Phoenix. I think they're still so far ahead because of this. Because now look at, I mean, the respawn time, they're still dead. I mean, there's still only 3 on the map. They're getting to farm so much now. At least they really, at least now they really should be setting up a push in mid lane because they have their minions so close to that tier 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to apologise if you can hear my cat screaming at me in the background. He just wants treats.
I don't apologise. We should be thankful.
There is just so much happening in this game constantly. They're always reassessing what the other team are doing, and I think you can tell that these are really high skill level players on both teams, definitely. Everything seems to be quite calculated, and they are always looking out. They know how to team fight, but it doesn't look like it's going to go well for GrogChamp in this instance, as Team F7 seems to get quite aggressive and manages to chase up Soul on that backline, but is supported by that. Is that Ulla fighting? It is Ulla fighting. Manages to secure the kill against Nemesis, punishes her for coming in just too far, trying to get Soul, who manages to 3 out of it and become damage immune. Such a good combo. Soul is so OP when she can do that. She can go, oh, a jungler chasing me? I'm just going to turn into a tiny sun and nothing. Guan Yu manages to heal everybody as they group up together. And they still have the Fire Giant buff. Soul has her ult, and I would say Ulla does too, but you know. Soul could just ult all of them if she wanted to. If they're going to dive, now would be a great time for her to use that ult. And there it is. Are they going to manage to keep them there long enough for the minions to do some serious damage for the Titan as well? They managed to get an extra kill, but Thakati is on death's door. The tower falls. Thakati has to back, but 4 of them are still there against just the Medusa at this stage. They might actually manage to finish at this stage in time if they can secure the final kill against her, and they do. If they can get this Phoenix, that could be game. They only have 4 seconds until Nemesis is up. I don't think Nemesis is going to do damage for all of them. Thakati manages to teleport, and they are now finishing the Titan. What an incredible game for GrogChamp. Incredible plays. Let's talk about Wizzy. What?
Who is this guy?
Who are you? Where did you come from? Teach me your ways. Like, what an insane play. I mean, gold per minute, 517, and you know, top kills in both games. 9-0 in this game, 10-0 in the previous game. No death at all. What a fantastic start to the tournament. Wizzy, definitely a welcome addition to Team GrogChamp. Not too sad that Cathol didn't manage to make the game because of that fantastic performance. But wow, what a game!
Yeah, amazing. I mean, as I was foretelling, like Team GrogChamp setting up that mid lane push really worked out for them well. I mean, I think, you know, it's not too much you can say for Team F7 to try and defend that. I mean, they were all under the tower. Not much more you can do, really. But they were they were so far ahead enough, and I think they still had the Fire Giant buff by that stage. So that's just really rough. I don't know, maybe they just should have just let the tier 2 fall and tried to defend against the Phoenix, which has a bit more damage output. Maybe that would have got the kill on, who is it? Lucifer? I think it was super low. I can't really remember.
Yeah.
No, it must have, no, I think it was Thakati. It was Thakati, right? Yeah, wrong team. Yeah, really strong. Oh, and you know, I really love the build pass for all of Team GrogChamp as well, with Guan Yu, of course, going into Sentinel's Embrace. I mean, interesting choice with Frostbound Hammer, but to be fair, I mean, it's probably pretty good if you want to try and slow players down with Guan Yu and start to play aggressive.
Absolutely,
Boomba's Hammer's broken on Tsukuyomi. Full lifesteal build on Soul. That's really nice. And then, I mean, I think this is really cool for Ulla being an ability-based hunter, having Titan's Bane. You can overcap within percent pen, but not too much percent pen left to the rest of the build. But even so, I mean, he absolutely popped off, was he, didn't he?
About to build Leader's Cowl as well on Ulla for the final item. I think that the builds were actually really good. Again, I would just have liked to seen a different starter item on Wukong. Maybe he thought it was against Guan Yu, because it easily could have been Guan Yu, or sorry, oh, that's the wrong team. Okay, so he was using Tainted Steel against Chuck.
That's right.
I would have picked a different item, I think, because heal is not a massive part of Chuck's utility. Maybe they thought that if he went Cad Shield, then it would have really limited him. But you know, he went into Ninja Turbo, the Sledge, Blackhorn Hammer, is that as well, and Crusher as well. So
Blackthorn's first item, which is fascinating. Not really.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before, but it obviously worked because of the cooldown reduction is obviously really helpful into Breastplate of Valor for that extra cooldown. The Sledge, incredibly helpful with those protections, and power into the Crusher, which I just love to see on any god, really. I just think it's a really fun item. So fantastic build there. Merlin, I think, built really well, especially getting those cooldowns in really early game. Lots of mana, a bit of lifesteal. I think that was brilliant, and I think that actually Merlin did play really well this game. It was just a shame to be against an Ulla who I just think, you know, you don't expect to see a hunter in mid. You really don't, and it's really hard to play against one, especially early game, and against Ulla, who has so many abilities. It's incredibly difficult to counter. So whilst they both have 6 abilities, Ulla can stun you and he can reach you from further away and he can jump away and he's got a movement speed buff and he's got an attack speed buff. He's ranged and melee. There's not much you can do as a squishy mage. So, but I do think that Stickman played really, really well. And I loved the Xingtian. I thought Gorilla Cams played very, very well. I loved seeing some of those ultimates. Really, really effective in that game as well. But I think that for me, the MVP has to go to Hearing Wolf. I know that Wizzy was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But in that game of Tsukiyomi, I just thought that the plays were so brilliant. Really, really enabled Ulla to get a lot of those kills. You can see the 9 assists there for Hearing Wolf, and really did a fantastic job as a jungler. So props to Hearing Wolf for that incredible performance.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hearing Wolf did really well and really did some, like, secured a ton of kills in really good situations in the jungle. But I mean, I know I'd like to do like a big brain. Oh, someone else who wasn't like the obvious star was the MVP. No, I think Wizzy was just ridiculous. Clear showcase of being so far ahead of the rest of the other players in terms of like just the use of abilities at the right times. It's really hard to do. Even if you're just watching from above, you can see, oh man, that was so smart. But even if you're in the game, doing it there when you're not actually, you don't have full sight of everything else in the game, I think that's so much harder. And Wizzy did a really good job of that. So props to them.
Fantastic job.
Really good stuff.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
A 2-0 for Team GrogChamp. I mean, they get their first win on the board.
And we do have to remember that Team F7 did have a last-minute substitution for Lucifer. So thank you so much, Lucifer, for coming in and playing in a House of Smite tournament. Fantastic performance. You did really, really, really well, especially in that second game as Chuck. I love Chuck. I know Joel doesn't. I do. I think he's brilliant. I think that was a really stellar performance. So congratulations on playing really well, both of you teams. Genuinely, I really, really mean that. We're not just like, oh, everyone's a winner here, because both of you played really, really well. It was just in GrogChamp's favour for both of his games, and I think that it'd be really interesting to see round 2 very soon, later on in the Smite League. Yeah,
well, we haven't even finished round 1. The other game of the table. We should definitely have a graphic here telling us not only the table of the other teams, but also the updated table. Given that we've had our first result, we'll have that next time for you, everyone. But next week, we're hoping to see. What are the team names, Lizzie? Go on. I think you have a bit more information than I do about this.
Okay, so I've asked Carrick's for his team's name about 17 times now, so I'm going to call them Charlie's Angels, because Charlie is Big Daddy Stunk, and he's brought in Big Daddy Stanks and Big Daddy Stank. So I'm calling them Charlie's Angels. We're going to have to deal with it. And then we also have an MVG the Night Fury is on Charlie's Angels. And then we have Barooni's Merchies, and that is based off Baron's new skin. When he says have fun, he says don't forget to buy our merch. So they're called Barooni's Merchies. We're probably just going to call them Baroonies. I liked Miley Osiris. I'm just going to put it out there. I really like that team name, but it's Barooni's Merchies, and that consists of Cameron Mojo, Fizzum and Izzle, Burn for Us In, Dizzy Wisp, and Gengar X, who is new to the Wholesome Smite tournament, but a fantastic player. So I think next week we're going to see some really sick games. Still waiting on finalisation, but it should be Saturday at 4:30.
Nice. We'll have confirmation in the Facebook group in particular, and you'll probably see it at some point if you follow any other social media of ours. But we'll keep you up to date for sure. I think that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Any last words? That sounds a bit morbid, but any leaving remarks?
Keep it wholesome. Join our Facebook group, join our Discord, come and hang out with us. We're a really fun group of people. We love playing well, which means with zero toxicity, but also helping each other improve to slap. Yeah, that's the technical term. I'm so gangster. I'm going to eat my cookie in celebration now for everybody. But thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Joel, as well, for all your hard work for today. And I'm excited for next weekend, for the next match.
Yes, for sure. And thanks to the teams as well for putting on a really good showcase of Smite as well.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. See you later.
See you later, everyone. Bye.